talking to you. The camera can pick up good. Front people in front. Without parasols. When they actually.
I can't. I have to have it. I can't. Yeah, leave her have her parasol.
You got this. Tom? They went getting too close. Hey, that's good right there.
Okay, everyone else.
That's what I was thinking. That's right. Yes. Front. Port, not port. Order arm. Parade rest. Parade rest.
Okay. Then you gonna hide back there?
No, your brother.
Come on, guys.
Come on, brother. And this lady came in and bought chocolates. My favorite sister-in-law, Corinne, and that's what this is Candy O'Brien.
Is that okay? You got it all? Wide enough?
Yes. Sharon, why didn't you come stand my phone?
Take a minute to go ahead and put your phones on mute. I just tried to find it peeking at me after I'd done it, so I just went ahead and turned it off. You know when you want to start talking.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go for it.
All right.
Oh, there's a car.
This is Kathy. This is Kathy and Rush.
Okay. Wait a second then.
You know, Les would be upset when we start writing too.
Les knows to go through ways.
Yes,
There's always a change.
He's probably used to this.
yeah.
Forecast it.
This is it.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to all of you who are here today. We're all here to say a final goodbye to Les. I've been told that Les wanted no funeral or memorial service. Yet here we are. This merely shows us the truth that funerals and memorials are not so much for those departed as for those of us left behind. Les' passing was sudden, but I don't think we can say it was unexpected. Les lived under a cloud, and the struggle to drive that cloud away was real and constant, and Les chose to end that battle in his own way. There are many here today who have known Les for years, for decades in many cases, and for some of you, Les was a presence your entire life. I knew Les only as a sort of shadowy presence at Sharon and Bob's. He always seemed to be there, but I never really interacted with him. It was limited to only a brief greeting, if that. He always struck me as someone who could always be alone, even if he was in a crowd. Perhaps it was that quality that led him to make the choices he made in life. However, there must have been something more to Les that allows the good people gathered here today to develop their various relationships with him, to forge some bond. Some bond that held together for his life, and that has engendered such sorrow at his passing. Let's take a moment now for each of us to reflect on the why of our relationship with Les. Whatever answer you find for yourself will be the good of his life that remains even after he has gone. Okay. I'd like to take this time now for people to share a memory. Lynn, do you have something you'd like to read for us?
When we lose someone, we always wish we would have 5 more minutes to say the things that we always wanted to say. And Sharon, Bob, Rob, and Sarah could sit across the porch from God today. They would want God to go and tell Les to follow him. Every day you fought the pain. Every day you tried again. But after time, it dragged you down. Darkness, it was all around. We know you tried to fight your way, but what more could you do or say? That beast, it gnawed at your heart, and little by little, it tore you apart. You know thoughts are very hard to say. In the end, it pulled you away. Just know, we do know how hard you fought, and we are so proud of the strength you saw. And now we'll find a way to live in a world where you guys have no more to give.
Would anyone else like to share a memory or a thought?
I would like to say that my sister said that Les seemed to be a brother from another mother. And I have to say that has been true. He's traveled to family funerals with us. He's gone to family events. We've traveled to Florida together. We've traveled around. Once when I wanted to go to Albuquerque to the Balloon Festival, and I needed a ride from the Albuquerque airport to the hotel, he drove to Albuquerque in his Toyota. I drove, he drove, and he picked me up at the airport and took me to the hotel for the Albuquerque Balloon Festival. And of course, that got him a ride on a balloon because my brother was a balloonist. And then he drove me to California where there was a family wedding, and drove me back to my aunt's house. Later, went on, I guess, home, and then so. That's the kind of person he was. He went with Rob on one of the original trips to Germany to find the family ancestors. And in doing so, we found those kinds of people, actually family, distant relatives, and they took us out to dinner. And they were intending to buy that, but Les had this characteristic, we learned at that point, where he would sneak back behind the counter and give someone a credit card, come back, and when they went to pay, it would have been paid for. So the other thing I wanted that kind of typifies Les. So the other thing I might mention is cat stuff. He loved his Toyota. He picked it, and it was the only kind of car to own. He researched it, and it was the vehicle. Oh, it's what they used, Toyota trucks they used in wars with machine guns on the back. And it was something that he was very proud of and kept running and tuned up and oiled and greased. And his license plate is here, as you can see, which kind of typifies his love of cats. And if you talk to anyone here, you'll find that Les did love his animals, and they kept him comfort and joy. And Lily, but before that was Cookie. Now, he brought Cookie from Toledo when he came down here. And Cookie became sick. And one day, I heard a noise downstairs. He had a key to the house, and I went down to see, and there was Les sitting very glumly in front of the TV with a box and his wife, Cookie had done. So I leave you with that.
I just like to point out that Les, he never understood, he could never accept that people liked him. He could never understand that. And yet he connected with a lot of people. He was funny, he was grumpy, but we loved him. And he ran in the VA, and they became like the fastest friends, and they couldn't have been more different. But they just connected, and my father just instantly loved him, and he could never, he just couldn't understand that. But that's just the type of person he was.
How many years did he volunteer at the Field of Honor?
Field of Honor since he moved to Westerville in 2008. He was always there, always, and they liked him there. I ran into people I knew at the Field of Honor, and they're like, "Oh, you know Les, we love Les." So, yeah.
But his normal day would be typical, and we, to all of you that know him, you'll understand when we can tell you that his nickname was Mr. Sunshine.
I love torturing him with my hugs.
Yeah. He didn't hug much, but the girls liked it.
Yeah, he hated it, which is funny. He pretended to hate it, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Would anyone else like to share a thought? Okay. Hands up, port, arm. Ready, aim, fire. Fire, fire. Port, arm. Freeze and arm. Port, arm. Order, arm. Parade, hook. The friends of Leslie, on behalf of the President of the United States, American Legion Post 171, and the grateful nation, we present this flag to for Leslie, who served honorably. Safety on. Follow. Release your breath. It's my understanding that Les was not a religious man. I don't know what his belief in God may have been. Whatever it may have been. Who knows that answer now? I believe in a higher power that is reflected in all the wondrous things that surround us. I believe that each of us has a soul that is only temporarily tied to our bodies. I once believed that whatever that higher power may be, that the essence that made Les the unique person that he was, has united with that power, and that Les has found the peace he sought so hard in his life. I'd like to close with a final reading. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around everyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, by letting go of children who need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Thank you all for coming. And there will be a gathering afterwards at Sharon and Bob's house.
Thank you so much.
Going back to our house.
We end it.